I actually have been a few days since I've been on, but I was wanting to actually do a deal on the actual new covenant, Jeremiah 31, starting at verse 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquities, and every man that eateth sour grapes, his teeth shall be set on edge. Now, y'all say Jesus died for y'all's iniquities, y'all's sins. But it says right here that every man will die for his own iniquities. And behold, the day comes, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant I made with their fathers in the days that I took them by the hand and bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant I will make with the house of Israel, while Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and I will put their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun and the light by the day, and the ordinance of the moon, and the stars and light by the night, which divide the sea and the waves. Therefore roar, Yahweh of hosts is the name, is his name. Now, I hear people, these Christians all the time, saying, we're under a new covenant. But it says right here in the new covenant that every man will know his word. Every man will know about him in truth. His name is Yahweh. But sorry. But I see people all the time disputing over this. I dispute it any time I talk to anybody, because nobody is for sure, well, very few of us are for sure on what is true. The name is disputed constantly, and there are more and more people coming out understanding that the name is actually Hawa, because it is the last of days is put, but it's not the last time that, or at least it's not the first time that it has been the end of days. Noah preached for 120 years. Noah and Methuselah preached for 120 years to people to repent, so a judgment would come upon them, and they mocked them, and judgment came upon them, and the world was flooded. And this time people are going to burn. This world is going to see a judgment like this never seen before, or at least we've never seen before. And you see the stuff going on already. I mean, the some of the biggest rivers in the world are going dry. The Mississippi River is going dry, and that BS over there, their Euphrates is going dry. But the Mississippi River is more likely the Euphrates, regardless. The Holy Land is over here. I don't give a crap what they tell you. The Holy Land is here. Our people are here. You want to go to that desert? Go for it. But I'm in the land. I'm just waiting for the coming. I want to be one of the ones that makes it through it. I hope. I pray. They give me strength. Every day I pray they give me strength. And when I lean on them, every day they do. But, you know, you gotta keep that mind constantly. Keep your heart with them constantly. Because every step you get closer, you're gonna get a little more test, a little more test. Make sure that you're gonna stand there great with them. Hold fast. That's why Job was one of my ones I admired the most, because he was put through absolute crap, and he still held fast. I mean, for all the stuff he had, it said that he had 7 boys and 3 daughters, and and 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yokes of oxen, and 500 she-asses. And Satan, well, Hawa said, "Look at my perfect servant Job." Called all his sons, all the angels before him. And Satan came before him too. So where have you been, Satan? He said, going to and fro, back and forth upon the earth. And he said, look at my perfect servant Job. And Satan says, I bet I can turn him against you. Let me take out, no, he says, you take everything that he is, you have blessed him with, and he'll turn against you. And Allah says, okay, you can afflict everything that he owns, but not touch him. And the balls of fire came down and killed his children and his sheep, and one after another the servants came in and said, a servant came in and said that a ball of fire had came and killed all his kids. Before he got done speaking, another servant came in and said a ball of fire came down and killed all his sheep. And before he got done speaking, another servant came in and said the ball of fire came down and killed all his livestock. And another servant said that another ball of fire came down and killed all his servants. Another servant came and said that a ball of fire killed all his crops. And Job got down on his knees, said, Allah giveth and Allah take away. And he prayed. And Allah said to Satan, see, he still holds fast. He still blessed me. He still praised me. Satan says, well, let me touch him. Afflict him. And I bet he'll turn away from you. And Allah says, well, you touch him. And he touched him, and he had boils from head to toe. And his wife said, curse Allah and die. And he told her to go away. And she was wrong. And his friends, Ephamus, I'm going to murder these names, Bildad and Zophar, came to him and said that he must have been doing something wrong, that he must have been not praising enough, that he must have been doing something for all these horrible things becoming against him. And this is just to make a long story short. And he kept on saying no, no, no. And I finally got tired of it and came down a whirlwind. And he told Job that you weren't there when I created the heavens and the earth. That when I beat out the firmament with my hand, and when I made all the animals and all the fruit and all the things of the earth. And like I said, this is really breaking it down short. And he mentions a couple of creatures in great description that he mentions the unicorn, but he doesn't put it in great description. I still say it's a horse with a horn, but he does not describe it specifically. The behemoth, his greatest creation in his own words, and you can read this for yourself in Job 41. I'm not going to read out all the description of it, but was a great creature with a strong belly, with the mouth long, big enough to swallow up the Jordan, and a tail like a cedar. And it's not like anything we've seen in recent, at least not in this part of the world. There are people who say they still see them, but it's most likely a brontosaurus or something like that, diplodocus. The leviathan, which breathes fire and is most likely scales are imperishable, bones of iron, most likely a sea dragon like Nessie in Scotland, or there's one in Alaska, there's one in South America, and I think there's two more that we know of, and there's probably even greater creatures in the seas, in the oceans. We know that we only know 30% of the life in the ocean, so anybody who says that these things possibly couldn't exist is an absolute liar. It's just like the megalodon. And actually, the Leviathan is probably what swallowed up Jonah, in the book of Jonah. Leviathan is what they Hawa broke apart to feed the meat in the desert when they were coming out of Egypt. And they started crying about only having manna to eat, because David says that in Psalms, thanking them for the Leviathan they broke off and fed them. And because of these things, but this is where it gets skewed in the Christian belief. Because Job, by his own admission, says, "Oh, I've been vain and have held myself higher than I should have, whatever." But Hawa doesn't say that. He actually rebukes the people that came against him. These three friends of his and one other boy that I forgot to write down the name of, which was telling him he was doing better than what his friends were saying. He tells them that they all have wronged and spoke great things against Hawa, and that they owe him a sacrifice, but he would not accept it from them. He said for all three of them to get 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and then give them to Job to sacrifice on their behalf, and he would accept them from Job. And because he stood fast, Allah rewarded him with 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 oxen, and 1,000 she-asses, and 7 more sons, and 3 more daughters. And it said he lived 140 years. Now, I'm not sure if that was 140 years from that point or 140 years altogether, but 140 years for being steadfast and holding with Allah. We're always rewarded with long life for being their servants. The only one that says you have to die is Zeus. And if he ever walked this earth as an absolute Nephilim, he was not the son of Hawa. I have a mother and a father. They didn't have a son. Unless Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, is considered their son. And I do not think it was like that. But in the Mayan belief, the framer shaper, the father, the sovereign mother, Mama, and the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl were the three as one. They had one thought, one voice, one mind. In the law it says he is one. It makes a lot more sense that there is more than just him if he is one. And Zeus does not fit in the schedule. When they put Proverbs 8, it's talking about a woman. And even though it does say in Revelations chapter 1 that he has paps, which are breasts of a woman, he is not the son. I get sick and tired of all these people saying, I just want Hawa. No. I just want Zeus and the Lord. Which Zeus is the Lord. Lord is Baal. He is the son of, according to scripture, he is the son of Gabriel, which means he's a Nephilim. So, who are you worshiping? I'm just doing this for kicks and giggles. I mean, about the only person who watches now most of the time is my Ak. I mean, I hope it blesses somebody if they're looking. But, and if anybody else is listening, check out my Ak, Demetrius Horas. He's doing some excellent work. I mean, and as always, Allah Hawa, and may you be blessed.